Transformation rarely begins with acceleration. Instead, it typically begins with a strategic pause. Hello and welcome to the 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast for this Thursday. This is where we educate, equip, and empower emerging leaders with God-thought leadership, and we present current events and newsmakers in the light of best practices from the Bible. I recently watched a short testimony that stopped me cold. A man shared how he was diagnosed with mild sleep apnea. Not severe, not dramatic, just mild. Surprisingly, the doctor didn't prescribe a miracle. Instead, she prescribed a pause, a strategic pause. Lose some weight, change your rhythm, and finally get some real rest. And that final outcome really surprised me. That patient said that for the next 4 weeks, he was able to stay awake and stay alert while in church. That detail mattered. Staying awake while you claim devotion is a sign of alignment. That line mattered because mild sleep apnea isn't about sleep. It's about unseen obstruction, oxygen slowly restricted. Most people think sleep apnea is about snoring. It is not. It is about oxygen deprivation, often mild, gradual, and unseen. Leadership suffers from a similar condition, and I call it egoholism. Unmanaged ego, whether inflated or deflated. It rarely announces itself. Leaders still show up, still speak, still decide, but something vital is restricted. That's humility, listening, and presence. That's why real leadership change rarely happens with a bold action. It begins instead with a strategic pause. I call this targeting the problem, and the first discipline is simple. Glance back quickly. Look honestly at where fatigue, distraction, or disengagement have crept in unnoticed. I know this because this wasn't somebody else's story. As you are hearing it now, I am telling this story very slowly and very intentionally because that man with the sleep apnea was me. Recovering, physical or leadership, is not about speed. It's about oxygen. And oxygen requires a strategic pause. And most of the leadership lessons God has had to teach me, well, he didn't start with my mouth. He started with my body. This is not about look at what I have overcome. It is about look at what I am learning to manage. So my final question to you is, where might you be nodding off in a place where you claim devotion? Thanks for joining me today for the 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast entitled Mild Sleep Apnea and the Leadership Power of the Pause. And once again, if this message is becoming to you, then you should be coming to us. And if you like what you're hearing, then press the pause button, press the like button, the share button, or the subscribe button. And join us again tomorrow. First of all, for Tim Olson's Leadership Nuggets, educating, equipping, and empowering emerging leaders to manage their ego in 60 seconds, which airs at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. weekdays, as well as this 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast, which is at 4 p.m. Central Time. And all of these are available on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you again.